Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the Haile Selassie High School, and I'm here with royalty. As you can see, we're here in the presence of a God, because the black woman is God. We're talking about none other than Angela Brown-Burke, Member of Parliament for the Southwest St. Andrew constituency. Welcome to the journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is William King Hollis, on camera.
Pleasure to meet you.
He's a motivational speaker, one of the best in the United States, and he was brought to assist us on this journey, on the struggle of trying to regain our identity of who we are as king and queens of this country. And that's his sole purpose, is to do that. And to enhance whichever community we can. We've been to the Rockford area, we're now in the Southwestern Andrew constituency.
Well, let me welcome you. I mean, that is something that is really needed.
Actually.
You know, Marcus Garvey started that journey and we're still trying. Yeah?
Absolutely.
And there are so many other factors that are working against that. And the cultural infiltration, and you know, there are just so many things preventing our young black kids from recognizing the greatness within them and the royalty from which they spring, and therefore their full potential. You know, it's an arduous task, and communities like these, like Rockford that you went to, like Trenchtown and where you were, are communities that really need as many champions, you know, to come together to see if we can actually chart a path that can actually save save our children.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're blessed with ever so beautiful Miss Angela Brown-Burke, who's a Member of Parliament for the Southwest St. Andrew constituency, where the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, the first and only Honorable Portia Simpson, this was her constituency. So we asked the question, how is it like now to assume a brand new constituency and so on? What has it been like for you?
It's been a mixed bag. I mean, I feel blessed to be following in her footsteps. I feel blessed to be in a constituency where individuals tell me of the kind of transformation that she has done in terms of the work she has done. And at the same time, because we are still one of the constituencies with a very high rate of crime and violence, it is something that bothers me. You know, but that's life. What they say, the duality of life. So I'm blessed with a lot of individuals who really want to see the best for their community and the best for their kids. And so there are a lot of voices with which to work and a lot of hands. You know, Principal Ellis is one of those, and a number of other persons in the community. And at the same time, there's so much potential, you know. I think that Southwest St. Andrew is almost like a microcosm of Jamaica in terms of what you see here, you know. You see pockets of just a kind of beauty that doesn't exist anywhere. You see individuals taking care of their community, being active and trying to keep the peace and making sure that their children are safe. And then there are some other areas where we really need some work. And I think the balance that we have to strike is how we pull more people along with us to catch that vision. You know, as we were saying earlier, how do we make sure we put in some more parks for our children to play, you know, some gardens for them to relax, stuff like that. And then also the kind of social activities, so that our public spaces really become places where people learn how to get along with one another, so that they can show a different kind of social living, yeah, than persons expect of them. Because that's the other thing, that when you step out of the space, the kind of expectation that people have of many of us who live and work here. I mean, I'm sure you would have come in. Yeah, you know, people say, you go down there every day, you go out to the bit. I mean, I find such lovely people. You know, I find children with ambition. I find children excelling. You know, I find people doing such good. But at the same time, because the story that is told is just one side, you know, that the public hears, it dwarfs everything. Not that there are not issues, because we have a lot of things to do, because it is such a big constituency, yeah, and it is so
what's
compact.
the size of it, Honorable Minister?
We have what on our voters is now 26,000.
What?
And those are voters.
Wow.
So, you know, we typically say multiply that by what, 4 or 5 to get the population.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the population is one of the youngest anywhere in the country. So that the average age, we probably have a larger percentage of the population being young people and immigrants as well.
Wow.
So you can imagine that. And I'm sure that we live in a smaller space than many other people, which also creates its own challenges. Yeah, in terms of socialization and all of that.
Yes.
But you know, I believe that we are all placed at a place at a time for a reason. And it's up to us to rely on the Almighty to create the synergies that can make a difference.
Well, Honorable Minister, I must say, normally I would, in introducing King Hollis, speak about his background, but at this moment I would prefer King to tell you of his background.
Okay.
Because the background that he was grown in, I went to school barefooted. I grew up extremely poor. But how you grow up does not necessarily determine how you end up.
Oh,
And you have to be so. This is King and his life story.
Well, Queen, I'm a man that believe, I have a saying that I say the best gifts come from the bottom. And the analogy behind that is, you know, as a kid, I don't know about in Jamaica, but when we ate cereal, it was always a toy at the bottom of the cereal box. You had to eat through all that cereal and all that trash to get to that gift. And that exemplifies my life. I grew up young, mother, molested as a child by her father, grandmother, moved to Detroit from Monroe, Louisiana, selling numbers, doing numbers. Eventually got off to crack cocaine, started selling, teaching all 12 of her children, including my mother, how to cook and sell crack. Started my family off as drug dealers from the beginning to the end. I grew up in that house until my mother was 16, 17 years old, and the landlord gave her an apartment, had a 1-bedroom apartment with me and my brothers and sisters. Had I got 2 baby brothers and a big sister, older sister. And one thing my mother used to always tell me, she used to say, Will, it's not about the size of the home, it's about the love inside of it. How much love can you put inside of it? And like I said, Queen, I grew up in chaos. I ended up burying my mother to a heroin overdose. My uncle sold her the drug that killed her. It left me, I buried her at 17 years old. I had to be a man before I became one. Literally had nobody else left. And I know this to be true. Like I said, 4 years ago, I was homeless on the side of a Turkey Hill gas station, and my ancestors spoke to me, and they told me, you cannot stay here. You got work to do. I got up, I went and created an Instagram page at a library, a YouTube channel in the library, and one day a principal had approached me on the side of the Turkey Hill gas station and was like, William, how much do you charge? Like, I would like you to, not charge, but I would like you to volunteer to speak. This is the first time. I would like you to volunteer to speak to my students in my class. So I went, and at this point I wasn't a motivational speaker, knew nothing about it. And eventually I ended up speaking to the kids. Within 5 minutes they were in tears. I felt something. It was like I was talking to a psychiatrist. I was talking about all my problems. It was the first time I'm talking about my problems. It was the first time I'm learning that's basically what a psychiatrist is. And I was walking back to the hotel I just got. I started working as an assistant football coach, and they had free hotels for the players, and they gave coach one. And man, I was getting ready to go blow my brains out, commit suicide. And literally a mile before I got back, you know, to the hotel, I got a phone call, and it was like, William, how much do you charge to speak? And I didn't know what to say. I said 50, 100, 200, something like that. I said 3 different numbers, man. I didn't know, because I didn't know people got paid to speak. And she said, you're going to make a heck of a motivational speaker. Didn't know what it was, really. I knew of one, Les Brown. And I went and looked up and watched his videos and studied how he inspired and did all these things. And then they called me back, and I did a full assembly. Spoke to over 2,000 kids and got a standing ovation. And 4 years later, literally from the shelter, from the bottom, to over 300 million views on YouTube. The first speaker to speak during Milan Fashion Week for Philip Klein in Milan. Spoken in Australia, got the #1 football speech in the world. And I literally spoke my way out the shelter into a multi-millionaire with my voice. Not a product, not gifts, not anything. Just this. And that was the day I knew that my ancestor blessed me with an amazing gift. It's not every day that you get people of other races waking up every morning and calling you a king. It's never really been done. And because of the time that we're living in, I have the opportunity to take those former racists that hated us and make their babies love us. And come back and sit on their couch and tell them about how much they love us. So at the end of the day, Queen, I realized that my purpose in life was to do what I'm doing right now. I'm from the projects of Pontiac, Michigan. Mother, a heroin addict. Father, a street man, a gangbanger, a murderer. And out of all of that, I couldn't read till I was 16. 16 years old. Out of all of that, this is the gift God gave me. I'm speaking to politicians, I'm speaking to doctors, oncology nurses, and I'm doing this, Queen, with just my purpose. And that's when I realized, when I met Big Stone, and I learned about Paul Bogle, Not in the Rooms, Marcus Garvey, the greatest king of all. I realized this. I realized that it's a marathon. And what they do, Marcus Garvey, they teach us the lessons and show us the direction how to miss all the mistakes. How to camouflage like not in the room, not in the other room.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about the ability to camouflage with the world and understand, like the Honorable Marcus Garvey said, the black skin should be a symbol of greatness. And I'm 30 years old. I'm strong. I'm hungry. I know that I'm blessed. And I realized this. The definition of a true king, just like the greats that came before us, is a man that can look adversity in the eyes and not run from it, but run towards it. And he runs towards it with a smile. He dies with grace. But in this race that we're running right now, the race that I want to create, they say if you take the head of the snake, you can kill the whole body. But what if every single one of us was the head?
Yeah.
When you kill one, there's a bigger one coming. So at the end of the day, I'm here to simply inspire, uplift, strategize, because I do not, it's 2020. Our people, neighborhoods should not look like this. This school should not look like this. African American billionaires, millionaires, that they must come in. I understand that a lot of people have sold their soul in turn on their own people. At the end of the day, kings and queens, if you hear this and you're listening, when you land on your deathbed, when you move on to the next journey in your life, your ancestors will see you. They will know what you did. We died for you to turn your back on the people that we died for. That's the wrong idea. $1 does not make you the richest man in the world. It's your purpose. It's what you wake up and do every single day that dictates your legacy. Les Brown has a saying, and he says, live full and die empty. And that's the race that I tend to join. If you're a brother or you're a sister, and you see this beautiful school, you see this beautiful country, because I say it all the time, Jamaica is the black man and black woman's Mecca. Not India, not Dubai, Jamaica. Direct lineage of the greatest leader to ever walk this earth, Marcus Garvey. He's one of the greatest leaders. He was before his time, and the reason why they got him is because he was before his time. But like he said in that courtroom when they captured him, you may have captured me, but my cubs are still running loose. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I had the privilege to stand at his gravesite. I felt his presence. I locked eyes with his eyes. It was almost like he took my breath away. I spoke clear. I moved clear. So when I say to Jamaica, don't thank me for being here. What you did is, you took a young king blessed by so many ancestors and saying, let me teach you all the things that you don't know. Because what this generation got away from, they got away from the older leaders, reaching back to the young kings and teaching them the lessons to help them miss the roadblocks. I understand this one thing amongst the African American people. Men don't pass torches, only God. You can't pick the voice. You can't create the voice. It must be chosen. It moves your soul like a drum. It's the voice. In the good book it reads, the kingdom is voice activated. And with the voice alone, we can uplift a country stronger and bigger than ever before.
Very powerful, ladies and gentlemen. We have to give him a round of applause for that, because one thing with the king, once he's let loose and locked in, I'm telling you, he's like a tiger, Marcus Garvey said. Minister Burke, so what are our activities for today?
Today in the month of Black History.
Yes.
It's also Reggae Month. We are having our sports day.
Okay.
Yesterday was the athletics part. Today we're having the presentation of the prizes and cheerleading.
Okay.
So we're happy to have King Hollis here to greet the students as briefly as possible. They are waiting on us right now.
Oh, the way down.
Yes.
Well,
Okay,
hopefully.
let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Anything important you want to say, member?
No, I mean, I'm extremely humbled to hear what you're just saying,
And Queen,
which is so true.
Let me tell you this. The new position you just took was born for you. Only in the womb of a woman can a man breathe underwater. Everything, the woman is the foundation to mankind.
Yes.
It is the foundation, like a building. That's the first thing you put down before you ever can have a man. So at the end of the day, Queen, you're not stepping into a position. You're just walking into your destiny.
Powerful.
Yeah.
And I must conclude with this: the black woman is God. God. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Yes.